Oh, hey, how you doing? Just fixing a couple little pinholes to get this thing painted tomorrow night. With any luck, and we don't totally destroy things, you'll see Sunday. I'll tell you the truth. But while I was doing this, I figured since you're here, go ahead and I was talking to a friend of mine the other day and just said that hope you don't get in any trouble when and it's like, well, I said, well, a guy tends to outgrow that trouble thing once in a while, or at least I hope. I've sure been in trouble. And these little cars, even big cars, can get you in trouble. When I was in high school, I had a 1976 El Camino, 350 in it. Nothing really super fast or special, but we'd put the 4-barrel on it, aluminum intake, one of them Edelbrock open element air cleaners. And right before I started driving that car, actually right after my dad got it for me, helped me get it, he had it out too late one night. And then he came home first thing in the morning, wrecked it. So we went and got another doghouse, which is the whole front end of it, the bumper, the core support, hood, both fenders. And my good old buddy Alvin helped me put it on there in the driveway. That was a fun project, really. So and I had seen where the fender that got wrecked had gotten to the tire a little bit, just a little cut in the tire. And he and I drove back and forth from the school that we went to, that we graduated from, didn't have an auto mechanics program. I'm just going to use a little razor blade for these little pinholes. And so we were driving back in the afternoon from North Central High School to Pike High School. And Pike is where our home school. And got on the highway, and back then neither one of us drove slow anywhere. We were pedal to the floor the whole way, wherever we were going. And we're had just got on 465, running about 85 miles an hour, about as fast as that car would go. And we heard this bang. And boy, like slow motion, the both of us just stopped and looked at each other with our mouths open and our eyes wide open. And just then, the front of that car flipped down, and I swear all we could see was asphalt. Well, I believe it was the right front tire had blown. And, well, we went all over 3 lanes of the interstate trying to keep it under control, just about to die, and ended up down into the gully towards the ditch. There's been those big ditches that go by along the interstate, We got out of the car and seeing if our shorts were still clean or not. Time we got out, walked up onto the highway again, up on the shoulder, wondering what are we gonna do now? I don't think I had a spare. Here comes a tow truck driver, and he was going the opposite direction. Saw what had happened, and he was afraid we were hurt. All he saw us was go down that gully and a bunch of dust. And I was like, no, we're all right. Blew a tire thing. He said, okay, where are you guys going? I told him we're going to Pike High School. He said, well, I'll tell you over there. I'm like, buddy, I got like $22 to my name. He was about 16, maybe 17 years old. He said, all right, well, I'll do it for that. So he hooked up the car, drug it up out of the gully, and got us on to the next class, you know. But yeah, just going hell and down the road fast as you can all the time, and you don't know what's going on with your car. I think we could have died that day. About that same spot, the fuel pump went out in at one time. Over on the shoulder of the fast lane, I think another kid come by and saw that we were stopped and see if we needed help. And I said, well, I think we need a fuel pump. He drives us over to, I think it was Meridian Street or something. There was a Napa. So we get in that Napa store and buy a fuel pump, come back. Had the tools in the car because you're always working on stuff when you're that age, those kind of cars. Put a fuel pump on it, got home, or got back to the next class. We were always missing the second part of class for various reasons. Sometimes we'd just skip and show up at the end of the day with our hands all greasy. We'd get under the hood, get some dirt on our hands, and Mr. McGregor was our guidance counselor, and he had to sign us back in if we were late. Okay, well, he'd sign us back in. About, I don't know, probably a couple years later, I was getting ready to graduate high school. Had already wrecked that El Camino, blown up the engine in it once, put another engine in it, blew that engine up. Had transmission rebuilt. It was, you know. Well, then I ended up, my little brother had a Buick Apollo, which is like a Nova, same thing, 1973. Now that thing would get it. Had the 350 in it, Buick engine. I had big old wide tires on the back of it that were bald because that thing would do burnouts. I was headed home from school or work or something. Got to hydroplaning. It had been raining really good. And boy, that thing, I wrapped that thing around a tree. I hit my head on a driver's glass. My feet were stuck underneath the pedals because the brake pedal was now on top of the gas pedal. The radio, which is normally like this, was like that, and it just destroyed that car. Knocked me cold. Some guys in a work truck pulled over and saw it, and they'd help me get out of the car, and then here come the ambulance, and then here come my dad. How fast are you going? I wasn't speeding. Yeah, you were. No, I wasn't. Well, I was going too fast for the rain. But really the biggest amount of trouble I got into, I was not even 20, I think I was 20 years old. Had been out running around with a couple of my roommates. I had a couple of roommates, and this roommate had a 73 Mustang, a Mach 1 with a 429 out of a Cougar, I think it was. Ripping around in that thing all day. And the plan was taking that car to his dad's house, and so we left his dad's house in my car. My car at that time was an 84 Police Interceptor, Chevy Impala. 4-door, steely wheels, big wide tires on the back. That thing wouldn't move. You can talk about boogie. So he'd been showing off all day. My turn to show off. Get on the old 465 again. Held that thing to the floor. Speedometer went to 125 miles an hour, but it was going below that and bouncing off of the stop. 4 barrels wide open. Good old quadribog. Oh, the dashboard vibrating, and we were just probably close to 140 miles an hour. 130, 140, yeah, you know. It's not important. It's too fast. We get to going around the corner. There's a cop. He's just driving down the road, driving down the interstate just like me. And it was just like slow motion. I let off the gas, started hitting the brake, right by him. Went right by him. Right by him. Well, we had a bottle of wine in the car. Got in trouble for that. All 3 of us went to jail. My 2 roommates got let out the next day. They dropped the charges on them out on their own recognizance. You know, I think they got bailed out by their prospective parents, and they dropped charges on them. Me, they didn't. Nope. Mm-mm. No. That was my first DUI before I was even 21 years old. There's lots of stories like that. Let me get this sanded off. I'll be right back. So yeah, we did quite a lot of stuff back when we were kids, and you just don't know what can happen. Now I get that 57 Chevrolet done. I plan on it being pretty radical. I'm gonna hope to stay out of trouble. You know, the fear of trouble sometimes is mostly the fun of it. But stay out of trouble, kids. You probably can't even see those little dots. I figured I'd just go ahead and knock them out real quick. So tell me down in the comments, how did a car get you in trouble? We know it's not the car's fault, but in a way it is. If it wasn't so cool, you probably wouldn't get in trouble. Driving a Ford Escort never got me in trouble for doing burnouts or donuts in the kids in the school parking lot. Got arrested in a 1996 Camaro with T-tops, 6-speed transmission. Man, that thing was fast. Fast. Got arrested then too. I wasn't drinking, luckily. But my girlfriend, who wasn't 21 yet, she was drinking. Hey, we'll see you guys on the next one. Check back Sunday. Junk out. Let me know how you got in trouble. Man, I want to hear your stories. Yep.